let's do this hip hop. Pull up on the track like I'm drunk off the liquor, so the people all the facts with the funk I deliver. I remember being blacked and sunk in the river, came back with the cracking. What's up, my niggas homie hit me on the jack. What's up, how you living? We was living in the back, moved up with the quickness. I ain't trying to mac, bust and deliver, bust and deliver. I just get a rush from them feelings, so I'm crushing them niggas. Royal flush on my fingers, touching them figures, yeah, that part. I be running with these feelings that be coming from this living, just be leaving many people with a black heart. But we gon' be alright, yeah, this shit is on sight. I be dealing with the devil almost every other night, and I see my homie Trevor taking every single flight.
Alright guys, so I'm restarting the broadcast. I'm here in Brooklyn, downtown Brooklyn by the Barclays Center. Here's a vigil for slain trans and cis women of color. The protest has already started. Again, I had to restart the broadcast due to some connections issues, but it's literally just started. It's a nice, decent crowd, maybe about 100, 150 people here. They're talking, so I'm just gonna let you guys hear what's going on.
Organizers of this event, and as people who call ourselves revolutionaries and activists to keep our people safe, but we know that the police won't do that. So what we're going to do is have Jules say a few more words to add on, then we're going to have Ngozi lead us in a chant to move us over to where it's considered public property where we can be, and then we'll continue the program. Does everybody have that?
So the building of the Barclays Center is a product of gentrification. Gentrification is an intentional push out of black and brown bodies. So when we're here to reclaim space. And we've done this multiple times before. The folks who are in this crowd have gathered here before for multiple events. And we've been able to, from start to finish, continue our event. And so what's really important for me, right, is to not only say that we are being pushed out and being threatened to be arrested to be in this space, but to specifically pull out who is on the phone making that call. And right now, it is a man in a red shirt with a black hat and a white man in a black shirt on the phone. So if y'all want to put your phone, your pictures out. You know, we took a lot of pictures of the white woman who called the police on black people. This is what's happening right now in Brooklyn, New York City, on black and brown people, as we honor black women and femmes. This is nothing that we're doing here is wrong, and I want to honor that. And I want to invite you as we move over. Like I said, I'm going to call Ngozi, who's the organizing co-chair for Black Youth Project 100, to lead us in a chant that Black Youth Project 100 loves to do. Oh, that's not the sound. Yeah, let's do it. And we invite you to join us in this chant. It's a chant that you can say with your attitude, with your, say with your chest. Once again, red shirts, black man, black hat, white man, black shirts in the back. You call the police on us, I will call you out. Okay, Ngozi.
You don't love people? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I love black people. You don't love black people. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I love black people. You don't love black people. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I love black people. You don't love black people. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I love black people. You don't love black people. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
All right, so if you guys don't know what just happened, the guy in the red shirt and the guy standing next to him with the black shirt, they actually work for the Barclays Center, and they called the cops on the protest. And so that chant and the aggression towards the black man who decided to call the cops and threatened to arrest a group of protesters here who were holding a vigil. You know, it's actually not a protest. Let me stop saying that. It wasn't a protest, it's a vigil. So there's no violence. They're not calling anybody out. They're just giving memory to people who have passed away to nonsensical violence. And so that's what that was about.
Hello. If we can maintain the same circle that we had back there, so black people, inner circle. Black women and men. Black women and men. Thank you so much. Non-black people of color on the outer circle. Please, thank you. Black women and femmes, inside circle. Non-black people of color, outside circle. Men and masked people, outside circle. Thank you. Get triggered. Hey y'all. Showing up for us.
I did.
Thank you.
And I think, hey, I'm Asanya, communications coach here for Black Youth Project 100, New York City specifically. I think what just happened is just indicative of what we're doing in Times Square, right? So we're in Black House, Brooklyn, and even our hearing spaces have to be relegated to like a little piece of the land that's here, right? So even in this time of like urgency and like high emotion, we still can't do it on our own terms. We still have to find a little space just so we can be in community and just so we can do things to mourn and heal and just continue this movement, right? So we felt compelled to have this visual and offer this space because we were hearing about Nia Wilson, right? Everyone was talking about Nia Wilson. Nia Wilson had posters and pictures made for her, which she deserves. She deserves to have her brutal murder be publicized, right? But what about the other trans women? What about the trans women whose names we don't know? What about the people who don't fit society's standards of beauty? Why don't we know their names? Why don't we have pictures in their honor, right? So we just felt to like be in community with each other, so we can talk about these things, but we can heal, and we can hear from people who are directly impacted. And this circle is important because this is a space that's centering Black women and Black trans women and Black femmes. That does not mean that we don't need to be solidarity with one another. That does not mean we don't recognize the violences that are enacted on other bodies and other communities, but we can join together to uplift our pain. And then it's not about an order, it's not about like erasure. It's just that we come together to work for each other. And that's how solidarity works, right? So thank you all for joining us. I'll pass the mic to the... Thank you, Sandra.
Now we're gonna have somebody from Gabriella come up here and say a few words. Thank you, Zyla. Hello, everybody. My name is Zyla, and I'm here representing an organization called Gabriella New York. And just to give a little description, Gabriella New York is a militant Filipino women organization working to advance the national democratic movement in the Philippines. I am a Black woman. I am also a Black Filipino woman, and I'm very proud to be waging both Black liberation struggle and Philippine liberation struggle, along with the other Black Filipinx members of Gabriella who were part of organizing the vigil today. I want to talk briefly about this. Joining Gabriella was important to me because it made me kind of understand how the violence, the misogynistic, homophobic, and transphobic violence faced by women, femmes, and GNC throughout the world is part of a global imperialism. The Philippines is currently ruled by a fascist dictatorship, a macho-fascist dictatorship, and the regime, the dictator Duterte, and the actors like the military and the police are responsible for the state-sanctioned violence, rape, harassment, urban displacement, land displacement, fucked up labor policies and economic policies that keep the majority poor and keep the very few rich. And all of this is the reason why trans and cis women and femmes face the violence they do. And every single thing that is happening in the Philippines is happening to Black, trans, and cis women and femmes on this land and on this soil that we're on currently. Some of my very best friends, to my closest family, and with the added layer of global anti-Blackness. Imperialism was built on the backs of our Black ancestors, and we are being violently, clearly, we are being impoverished, we are being murdered for just being, so that the dominance of the very wealthy few people on the top can continue. And so I felt that it was important to mention imperialism today because sometimes it helps to remember these big picture causes of misogyny and transphobia and homophobia. But to be honest, of course, sometimes it does not help. I mean, it does not erase any of the grief that I feel when I hear another Black trans woman has been murdered. It does not erase my sadness when I think about the sexual violence that I and other Black trans and cis women and femmes have faced. It does not quell my anger. And I feel angry all the fucking time. But what does help me is this space. I am so grateful to be part of this space that Black, cis, and trans women and femmes have put together today, and GNC folks. And it's hard to be grieving when our sisters have died, but our strength comes from our collective grief and turning that grief into action so that we can put a stop to all of the violence that we're facing. And I'm quickly going to read a poem that really grounds me. It's called What Is Left by ISSA KHARI. And I like this poem because it grasps the incredible hope that has come out of our community. What is left? After the bars and the gates and the degradation, what is left? After the lock-ins and the lock-outs and the lock-ups, what is left? I mean, after the chains that get entangled in the gray of one's matter, after the bars that get stuck in the hearts of men and women, what is left? After the tears and the disappointments, after the lonely isolation, after the cut wrist and the heavy noose, what is left? I mean, after the commissary kisses and the get your shit off breeze, after the hustler has been hustled, what is left? After the murder burgers and the goon squads and the tear gas, what is left? I mean, after you know that God can't be trusted, after you know that the shrink is a pusher, that the word is a whip and the badge is a bullet, what is left? After you know the dead are still walking, after you realize that silence is talking, that outside and inside are just an illusion, what is left? I mean, like, where is the sun? Where are her arms and where are her kisses? There are lip prints on my pillow, I am searching, what is left? I mean, like, nothing is standstill and nothing is abstract. The wing of a butterfly can't take flight. The foot on my back is part of a body. The song that I sing is part of an echo. What is left? I mean, like, love is specific. Is my mind a machine gun? Is my heart a hacksaw? Can I make freedom real? Yeah! What is left? I am the top and bottom of a lower echo. I am in love with losers and laughter. I am in love with freedom and children. Love is my sword, and truth is my compass. What is left?
Thank you, Viola. Up next, we're going to have Glenn from Seagate. So Glenn from Seagate, please sit down.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Glenn, and I'm here speaking on behalf of Seagate, an LGBTQ for the Connects organization advocating for our rights in the nation. Today, we are here to bear witness in this space for Leah Wilson. In this space, healing for Black and Brown women, trans women, and femmes. As an organization fighting and advocating for the rights and liberation of LGBTQ for the Connects, we are mindful of the systems that oppress us all. On a global level, state violence affects Black and Brown women and femmes. From Palestine to the Philippines, we therefore must find and make spaces of healing for our communities. We must demand these spaces. State repression against Black and Brown, cis and trans women is an international phenomenon. Jennifer Lauder, a trans Filipino woman, was murdered in the Philippines in 2014 by a U.S. Marine. It's been 4 years, and even today she has not pursued justice. Even now, we have an undocumented trans Filipino being detained at a facility for a crime she has only been alleged of committing. This violence continues to happen, and we importantly need to come together as large global communities in these spaces and allow our communities to find healing. Say her name. Say their names. As an organization dedicated to solidarity and raising awareness in our shared struggle, we are here to center Black lives, especially in this space. We fight for and work toward a world where care and healing is abundant, where our communities can take care of each other endlessly. As Filipinos for Black lives, we pledge to work against our fears, uplifting our voices, spirits, and bodies in solidarity with the Black community. We uplift Black communities, Black leaders, Black rage, Black mourning, Black love, Black joy, Black laughter, and Black movement building. Black healing matters, Black resistance matters, and Black power matters. All lives will matter when Black lives matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. Before we open the mic up to community, I wanted to highlight that we do not have any Black trans women who are speakers today, and we talked about that, right? I also want to hold that this is not the first time that I've been a part of organizing an event for the murder of Black women, including cis and trans women, and I am tired. I know that many of my comrades are tired. I want to call in to the space a very powerful Black organizer, Erin Lang. And I remember organizing an event, and Erin Lang said that she was tired and that she was bored. And I want to bring that into the space. I also wanted to bring into the space that I'm also tired of reaching out to Black trans women, having them speak on their pain. I don't want to tokenize Black trans women. We should not be here to tokenize Black trans women. We need to always, when we talk about Black women and families, we need to always include our trans siblings, always. And we know, or at least I know, specifically I, and hoping that community can agree, that if Black cis women are not, or if Black trans women are not free, then Black cis women are not free, right? So I want to hear that, I want to acknowledge that, I want to recognize that. I also, like I said, want to acknowledge that it is pain and trauma to get up here and talk about it again and again. And it's a vigil, and the tone of vigils are typically sad, but I'm also angry. I'm angry about being displaced, I'm angry about being here again and again, and I'm tired. All I'm asking for is for people to stop killing us. And I know that a lot of people are asking for that too. So, if y'all are, if communities, actually I'm gonna pass it to Kirby to move to the open mic space.
So one thing I want to have acknowledged is that right now, Simone and KC will be handing everyone a candle. The sun will set at 8:14 tonight, so we want to make sure that everyone has a candle. When time is ready, we'll light the candles in honor of our ancestors. One of the things I do want to acknowledge before I open up the mic for anyone else who wants to speak before sunset is that we're not just talking about folks who are no longer here. We're talking about this system that kills us. Every day when you go to work and you struggle to sit in your seat and you're standing on your feet to make ends meet because 55% of your check goes to rent, that's genocide. When you have to acknowledge that this is Monopoly land that was stolen from indigenous folks who were sat there and pushed to the desert, that's genocide. When we have to sit here and have vigils constantly because they are killing us, that's genocide. But where is the mental, emotional, and spiritual health of our people? It's being murdered. That's what the system does. When we're sitting here and we're creating altar space and we're honoring our ancestors, white supremacy doesn't respect that. They want to kill that. And that's what they did when they took us away from wherever we came from and tried to sell us a dream of whiteness, right? And so when we're sitting here saying that you can't ignore us dying, you can't ignore us, you can't ignore us now either. Because what you're doing, not you, what is being done to us is destroying us. When they're pushing us out of our community, they're destroying us. If you have no place to sleep at night, how can you organize? A lot of times when we talk, we say we don't have time to do things. We don't have time to build. That's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that we don't have time to be with our people and build community and take time to study and learn and grow together, because that is the most dangerous thing that we can do against this system. Us being here is dangerous. That's why we have to be moved. We have to be moved because our presence is threatening to this establishment, to any institution, any school, any church, any commercial space. It is threatening. Us standing here is the most revolutionary thing that we can do. Can you imagine in the richest country in the world, promise that they steal from us and all our comrades across the world, that we don't even have time to mourn properly? That our very mourning was going to be placing us in chains. And that's what we're talking about when we're saying deaths. But I'm not here for death anymore. Are y'all still here for death? Are y'all still here for death? Are we going to mobilize? Are we going to build? Are we going to organize our people so we can build liberation? Are we going to do it or no? That's what I'm here for. So I'm not here to be sad. The spirit is heavy right now, but we don't have to be sad because we're doing some work right now. We're going to uplift our sisters because we're going to build a revolution that's going to take all of this down. And that's our duty. So I want anyone who has a few words who haven't spoken, I do have the comrade Monica, a member of the Party for Social Liberation, Afro-Latinx, queer comrade who's going to come up and say a few words of solidarity. You can just come towards the front end. But if there's anyone else who wants to get on the mic before the sun sets, just please come up and say a few words. I'm going to time y'all, because we got until 8:14. So when I come up and take the mic, don't get mad. Okay.
Thank you, Kobe, for that introduction. I want to thank everyone for coming to this space today to uplift our community and to stand for what's right and what's just, and to say to all of these white supremacists, to all these misogynists, to all these transphobes who are working every single day to keep us oppressed, to the system as a whole, that we will not go down without a fight, and that we are stronger together, right? We're taught, the system teaches us that we need to fight for ourselves, that we need to pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps, that we need to just watch our own backs. But we understand as black and brown people, as queer people, as trans people, as working class and oppressed people, that we are stronger together. And together is the only way that we will be able to actually confront this system that works to kill us every single day, right? And we understand that we're coming together in a time of sadness and mourning, but the best thing that we can do for every single person who this system has robbed of life and justice is to keep organizing and keep showing out. We understand the important aspect of healing and of self-care when it comes to our political organizing, right? Because it takes a lot out of us. Day in and day out, we're facing oppression on so many different levels. We understand this as oppressed peoples. But the only way that we have any chance of getting justice in this disgusting system is by showing up and showing out, right? And it's hard, it's not easy when we're struggling to wake up every single day, going to our jobs that ain't paying us enough, struggling under this capitalist system, understanding, like our comrade Kobe mentioned, the international aspect of it, that half of our tax dollars go to killing people just like us abroad. We understand how big and how vast and how disgusting this system is. But we have the blood and the strength and the power of our ancestors in our veins. We have survived this far, and that means that we will continue to survive. And it is only through organizing and showing out and showing up for our people and for our community. That is what we need to be doing, right? Even in our pain, even in our sorrow, in our mourning, that is how we are going to survive. We need to keep fighting back. We need to keep hitting the streets. We need to join an organization. If you are not in an organization, we have representatives from so many incredible groups here today. Talk to one of us. Talk to me or Kobe or Vigil or any of the amazing organizers out here today that are putting in this work day in and day out to stand for our communities, to give our communities a voice. And not even, I guess, to give our communities a voice, to let our people know that we have a voice, right? Because the system tells us every single day that we don't, that our voices don't matter, that our lives don't matter, that our needs don't matter, right? But we understand that they do. And all of this disgusting violence and hate that we see in the news, walking down the streets every single day that we experience in our own lives is hard. We understand that, right? It feels like everything is against us. But just seeing all of y'all's beautiful faces today, coming here, showing out. You could have been anywhere else tonight, but you chose to stand here in solidarity and strength to stand for our communities. That's what we need to keep doing tonight. So thank you guys for listening to us. Thank you for coming through tonight. We need to keep building, we need to keep organizing, and we need to stand together and build that community. Love you all so much. Thank you. Is there anyone who wants to say a few words?
How's everyone doing tonight? Great, better. I am really fucking angry. I am really fucking disappointed.
Alright guys, so while I have a good amount of you here to help with the stream, I'm also recording clips with my DSLR professional camera. So if you can go and hit the retweet button, go into the 3 dots in the bottom right corner and hit retweet, share to Twitter, so that you can help promote this so more people can see what's going on and see the message. Again, you can always follow me on Twitter. If I'm not scoping protests, I am producing pictures and video clips of protests around the city. So follow me on Twitter at ISSA KHARI, twitter.com/ISSA ISSA KHARI, ISSA KHARI. What's up, Islanders? How you doing?
Why trans speakers today? Why did you say there are no trans speakers? I have to look to my girl and say, what the hell is going on? Why are we shocked and shook right now? Because we're not the minority of people who are being killed, right? There's no scarcity of trans and non-binary people being killed, and yet there was a scarcity of trans and non-binary people speaking to you today. Oh shit. And I'm pissed the fuck off. I'm pissed the fuck off. And if this is what we're doing, we can all just go home. We can all just go home if there are no trans and non-binary people speaking to you tonight, right? We're not just here for fun. We're not just here for certain kind of women, right? Jewel, am I speaking facts, yes or no? I'm only speaking facts. And that's all actually I even have to say. And thank you for saying that earlier. You don't want trans, and when they're saying GNC people, because a lot of y'all don't even know what the fuck they're saying. When they're saying GNC people, they mean gender non-conforming. When they speak about a phenomenon of people being murdered, they're not just talking about women or just trans people in the abstract. They're talking about people who do not conform to mainstream notions of gender. That's what they're talking about when they say those letters GNC, right? And so if we're sitting here lost, if we're sitting here confused, we are wasting our time. Because we'll leave here and 2 blocks up the street, somebody will be dying and we wouldn't even fucking know. Alright? So thank you, Jewel, for saying that earlier. We're not tokenizing people today. But what I'm saying today is we should be disappointed. And I am very disappointed today. And so I got my ass up from where I was just sitting and I came to this microphone just to say that. Just to say that we need to look around at each other, that we need to figure out what the hell is going on, because this should never happen again, right? If we're chancing the lives of black women and femmes, this should never happen again, right? That's pretty much it.
I think it's time for us to remember that trans people are not a letter that can be forgotten or left out. We are not ideas. We are living, breathing people. And the reason that there are 2 of us here is not because there is a scarcity of us, it's because we are constantly targeted. And yes, we also recognize our trans siblings around us as well, but trans femmes should be at the front with us. Trans femmes should be here with us. Trans women should be here with us. And the reason that they're not is because we are either forgotten about, marginalized, pushed out of our homes, or killed. One of us was killed 5 days. The announcement of her death was announced 5 days ago. She was killed in June, Diamond Stevens. And it wasn't even known that she was a trans woman because of how she was buried. We can no longer allow our siblings to be buried without their names. We can no longer allow us to forget. It's not a term. Intersectionality is not an idea. It's not a fancy term that we place into academic papers. Academia will not save us, and we are not academic. We are living, breathing people. We love, we die, we fight, we resist, we find community right alongside of you. I am a storyteller, and it's all I really know how to do. I know to do many things, but it's the main thing that I know how to do. I beg you to tell a new story in which trans people are not only remembered but centered and essential. And that story should be the story you tell in your life. If your life does not include us, it is missing something. And I stand before you as someone who has felt guilty to claim space in a space like this. And I'm realizing today, because of my sibling, that I have long since given myself the short end of the stick, as well as you. You should not only know us because we are wonderful, you should know us because your lives are richer with us. Please remember us and do not forget us again.
Do we have anyone else who wants to say a few words? One last person?
Hello, everybody. Thank you all for creating this amazing beautiful space. I just want to share a poem. Being unfree is different than being in bondage. In bondage, as in the case of enslavement, one's body is owned by someone else. Being unfree, on the other hand, is what happens after the end of enslavement. One becomes an emancipated citizen in the society that used to enslave her and that is still built to do so, without a literal title on one's body, but still with the power to destroy that body, threaten it, circumscribe it, categorize it, and imprison it. The not I of white culture becomes the burden of all other cultures. Despite this, many would deny the existence of a white culture. Seeing the evil of our society, they ask, how did things get so bad, as if they were uninvolved? In a world where, as a marginalized person, I must choose self-worth by saying no, rather than by saying yes, there is always somewhere else. The majority of social spaces, in fact, where I exist as the antithesis of who I claim to be. How can you speak about freedom if you can't speak freely? Does the way that we talk about this problem make a difference in how we try to solve it? Does the question, as I phrased it, fail to exhaust the possibility? Whatever the answers to these questions, I know I can't go looking for freedom in what is purely free, because what is purely free as yet doesn't exist in my world. The violence and brutality of white culture is a function of the extent to which it passes unnoticed under the radar of our senses, making constant recourse to objectivity and the supposed lack of bodily presence, softness, tenderness, and of thinking and feeling mind. Let us enter this again. In the context of this paragraph, we are hurling backward through space toward a small opening. I press my hand to your lip and you bite my spine.
I just want to highlight something that Jules said earlier in terms of the pain that is in our communities, especially within our trans comrades community. And it's a very real thing, and I don't know if I remember what Jules said in terms of like people telling her that there's so much pain that they cannot speak about it. And I just want to highlight that we have work to do. We have work to do to build coalition, to organize each other, and for our people to grow and be empowered to even get on the mic and speak about the pain that they're going through. And I want to highlight that everyone in this space wants to build coalition and be stronger within each other, because that is the only way that we'll have any type of liberation. And that this space was created last minute because there was a need, because nobody was doing this. Because when we saw our sisters dying, and when we say sisters, we mean our trans sisters, our gender non-conforming family, we mean our femme sisters, we mean our lesbians, we mean our dykes, if you call yourself that, we mean our zaddies, we mean everyone who identifies as black women, that nobody was giving us space for that. And that in our work, in this lesson that we were given, that there's work for us to do to build that. Because community, like you're saying, is not just us, and we need to expand. So I just wanted to highlight what Jules said, that there's a pain in our community, and I want to highlight what you said, that there's still a distance in our community, and there's something that we need to work on. Okay, thank you. Oh, who has a lighter? Oh, wow. Wow. Simone got like the big grill lighter. So what I want everyone to do, if you can, ooh, this thing is not loading. Okay. If you can, please start lighting your candles. went out. Oh, there's a whole altar here. And also what can be done if people need light, if anyone needs to come to the altar and use a candle here, or needs to light their candle from here. Yeah. Yeah. Also try to like cover your flame because there's like a dry breeze. Is everyone's candle lit? Okay. So now I want to have our comrade, Ishoke, who's going to lead in song.
Hey y'all, so I really want to hold space for what a couple of people have said around the duality of both sadness and rage, right? And really like sit in the duality of sadness and rage. We are often told, especially as black folks, especially as femmes, that there is no place for our rage, that it is too much, it is too big, it's too everything. Right? And we should tamp it down, we should blow it out, we should make ourselves smaller so that other people don't have to deal with the discomfort of our rage. And I think that's bullshit. I think that, you know, white folks say, oh, one of the steps of grief is rage. And I want to give space for that tonight together. So, this is a part of a larger piece. It's something that we've done a couple times before. Today I sat down and gathered the names of black femmes and trans women who have been murdered in these here United States in the year 2018. Just this year. And it's a disgustingly long list. And we're going to say every name. And I want to encourage you to give space to that rage. I want to encourage you to give space to that sadness with your voice, with your body, with whatever you need in order to make yourself a part of holding the space and creating the idea that these people are not just a name. These people are not just a number. They're not just a headline. They were people with full lives and families and love and hope. And the world killed them. Just the same way that the world is trying to kill me and a lot of you. So we're going to say these names. We're going to hold them in the space through the Jinomo Ne song, How You Talk About. It's pretty simple. I will lead it. I will say the name. You will respond with that name. And then we'll go through it. All right? If you know the song, I would love if you would help. You know, I'm pretty loud, but, you know, help is always lovely. All right? We'll go through the song. Hell you talking about, hell you talking about, hell you talking about, hell you talking about, hell you talking about. Neil Wilson, say your name. Neil Wilson, say your name. Neil Wilson, say your name. Say your name. What you say your name? Neil Wilson, say your name. Neil Wilson, say your name. Neil Wilson, say your name. Say your name. What you say your name? Hell you talking about. Hell you talking about. talking about? Hell you talking about? Hell you talking about? Hell you talking about? Tell your hobby, say your name. Tell your hobby, say your name. Tell your hobby, say your name. Say your name, what you say your name? Celine Walker, say your name. Celine Walker, say your name. Celine Walker, say your name. Say your name, what you say your name? Hell you talking about? 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 Felicia Mitchell, say your name. Felicia Mitchell, say your name. Felicia Mitchell, say your name. Say your name, what you say your name? Zakiya Fry, say your name. Zakiya Fry, say your name. Zakiya Fry, say your name. Say your name, what you say your name? Hell you talking about? 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 Amir Bowman, say your name. Amir Bowman, say your name. Amir Bowman, say your name. Say your name, what you say your name? Sasha Walls, say your name. Sasha Walls, say your name. Sasha Walls, say your name. Say your name, what you say your name? Hell you talking about? 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 Colorblind, say your name. Colorblind, say your name. Colorblind, say your name. Say your name, what you say your name? Nina Boston, say your name. Nina Boston, say your name. Nina Boston, say your name. Say your name, what you say your name? Hell you talking about? 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 Ginger Pierce, say your name. Ginger Pierce, say your name. Ginger Pierce, say your name. Say your name, what you say your name? And Taser English, say your name. And Taser English, say your name. And Taser English, say your name. Say your name, what you say your name? Hell you talking about? 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 Christina English, say your name. Christina English, say your name. Christina English, say your name. Say your name, what you say your name? James Keisha, say your name. James Keisha, say your name. James Keisha, say your name. Say your name, what you say your name? Hell you talking about? 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 Sasha Garden, say your name. Sasha Garden, say your name. Sasha Garden, say your name. Say your name, what you say your name? Diamond Stevens, say your name. Diamond Stevens, say your name. Diamond Stevens, say your name. Say your name, what you say your name? Hell you talking about? 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 Thank you, y'all.
Thank you. We now would like to have a moment of silence. could all just take a deep breath, breathe out, and say ashe to our ancestors and our comrades. I would like to welcome in our healers again for a regrounding before we close, Simone and Shavay.
So as we've been healing each other today, we have other Black women who have healing practices, healing collectives, healing events that will continue to heal us. Simone is going to go over some of those people, some of those practices, some of those spaces that you can go to beyond today. Bear with me, y'all. All right. This work is something that's ongoing. It is not just this evening, just this vigil. It is not just our coming together in this one day. This is something that we need to continue to build, to continue to expand, to continue to understand how we can really heal and grow together as Black, trans, and cis women and femmes. How we can lift each other up, and what comradeship and allyship looks like as well in that. This is also work that has been going on for a long time. This kind of healing, this kind of organizing, this is work that's been going on for a long time, and we want to uplift that. And we've got many healers, many organizers in this space who've been doing this work for a long time, and I want to acknowledge y'all and the labor and the work that you have done for your community, for our community. I put together a quick list of just resources, because also this is pain, this is hard to hold, and this is not something that we have to hold alone. This coming together is an example of that, but there are more opportunities, more ways in which different folks in the city, from the city, coming to the city, are doing. So I want to uplift some things that I know of, and I know that we're also within your community, amongst your friends, you know of other things that are going on as well. So remember that we have tools in our toolbox to take care of each other and ourselves. So just thinking about what's happening on this week, I want to lift up. I want to lift up Veronica Agar. She's a healer in our community who is actively throughout the year holding events, and actually on the 1st of August we'll be holding an event called the Alchemist Cypher on activation. So if that's something that interests you, this is a place where you can hold space and be supported by folks who are invested in this kind of healing work that we're doing here right now. Follow her on Vera's Got the Juice on Instagram, and also just find that on Facebook. We will list some of these resources on our event page after this evening as well. I also want to uplift some work done by SOS, our Audula Project member as well, who Ashley Eubanks. You want to just let yourself be known real quick? Ashley, with other folks, will be holding a People of Color Mindful Movement and Meditation event. That's the next one will be happening September 21st, but there are other things that will be going on before then. So if that interests you, you can go say hello to Ashley, who's right over there in the great room. I also want to uplift something that's happening very soon also. Some things that are being done by Adaku Utah and Harriet's Apothecary. Adaku, you want to make yourself known real quick? Adaku has been doing this work also for a really long time with our community. At BRIC on August 3rd, there'll be an event with Harriet's Apothecary that's going to be facilitated by Adaku right there. So we have resources in our community to hold each other. Remember that. From them to existing spaces, you know, we've got Sacred Vibes Apothecary and East Spot Push, Karen Rose. We've got Howell, which is Howl that's being organized by someone in our community named Joss as well, that actually happened today, and I believe happens monthly. So these are various things. So look into your resources, look into your pockets, look on our event page once we've got that up, and also just come to us. And I am Simone Sobers. I try and work to coordinate healers and folks who are invested in holding space and learning how to do that within our community. And so that is something that I'm invested in doing. If you want to learn about what resources there are or build those resources as well, you can come talk to me as well. And so we're going to end this with Chevy doing a grounding closing.
All right, so this is almost empty. Don't go nowhere after. Okay. One, I'd like for everybody to acknowledge everybody that's around them, everybody that came out, everybody that took their time. Just look around you, see who's out here, see who's supporting you, see who's supporting us, see who's supporting the people who are now ancestors, a lot of them too soon. I want everybody to take a breath. We're going to take several, so don't get lightheaded on me. So first breath that we're going to take, we're going to try to breathe down into the earth because we have to be grounded out here. So deep breath into the earth. And out. The next breath, I want you to breathe into your legs, into your hips. I want you to think about moving. I think you want to think about motion. If you can move your legs. Again, all of this is going to be to your ability. There's going to be some movement. If you are not able or if it's difficult, do not feel obligated because I'm not here to challenge anybody's abilities. So, you can move into your legs, move into your hips. Take a deep breath.
Alright guys, I'm going to end the scope because the vigil is about to end now. So I'm going to end the scope. Again, you can follow me on Twitter. Anytime I cover a protest, you will probably know then before you know anywhere else. Twitter is the best place to follow me. Follow me here on Periscope. Also follow me on YouTube. I'm gonna take some of the clips. They got really bad. Yeah, I know when it's protest and sometimes people decide to be really ugly during protests. They can simply swipe out, but they have nothing else better to do. So it is what it is. But again, if you enjoy the scope, whether you agree or disagree with the content, you feel free to follow me. Follow me on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. I'm going to end the scope now so that I'll be able to go and take some pictures before the vigil ends. So I appreciate everybody for sharing. I appreciate everybody who hit the follow button and retweeted on Twitter. If you haven't retweeted, hit that retweet button now. Hit the 3 dots in the far bottom corner and hit the retweet to Twitter button. I appreciate all of you. Peace and love. Now be safe.
This is what it is. This is something that you cannot burn out. This is something that even if it does burn out, it is a memory. It's something that you
wanna click up after your mistakes. Look you in the face and it's just not the same.